Sometimes in Football Manager you hit that point where moving on in your journey is something that has to happen. Now this save, all along I planned on making it some sort of a journeyman before I do my open goal Broomhill long-term one club save. And after 2.5 seasons, or well, just over 2.5 seasons, we have a job offer which I feel is a nice step to take as we build up our manager. Now, one thing to point out is in my 2.5 years, Cheshunt have not once allowed me to take my coaching course. So maybe this is the right time to go, and I'm leaving this club in a very solid position. Now, if you are new, please make sure you do go down, hit that subscribe button. This little mini series with the football club logo in the corner with the yellow border, etc. This series is a review series which also has little snippets of guides in, hence the titles of these videos. But make sure you do go check out my other content as well. So, Cheshunt, we are leaving them after 2.5 years. You can see we are leaving them in 6th place. If we go on the competition screen, we got to the first round of the FA Cup this season, the third round of the Bill Base FA Trophy. 6th place in the league and with the ability of making the playoffs. Now I think we're leaving them in a really good spot. If we go financially, for a club who is neither bottom in terms of spending, a club that is neither bottom in terms of attendance, etc., we have made this a profitable club. So we're at the minute making 59,000 this season, 243,000 in the bank. Each year we have made this a profitable club. We've rebuilt the back room, we've rebuilt the playing staff to make sure that only a certain amount of players are getting paid. We have made Cheshunt a club that can focus on looking forward instead of panicking financially. Now, I do have some players I like within this squad who I would like to take with me, and hopefully I can. One of the reasons which has convinced me to move on is that the likes of Riley, Campton Sturridge, both want to leave, and then a couple other players are looking to leave at the end of the season as well. And I feel at the minute we are punching above our weight being in the playoffs of the National League South, because I've slowly built this team, slowly built the squad, slowly built the club, including the backroom staff, etc. But I feel like the offer I've got is the next step. It's a club one division higher. It's a club which I feel like we can maybe achieve something with, maybe look within 1 or 2 seasons of pushing for promotion to the Football League. This is not going to be the final step in the journey, obviously, but I do feel like it's an interesting step, and it's also a club I've never managed before. But before we go into that, we're going to look at my profile as we leave Cheshunt. So my profile as we leave Cheshunt, I still have the National C licence because the board has never agreed to put me through it. You can see we have full on media handling, tactical consistency. Hands-on approach is a little bit off, so I'd like to work harder on that. Handling team discipline 75%. Loyalty to players is quite low, which I find very annoying due to the fact that I'm quite loyal to my players. Attribute-wise, we're still fairly shit. We are still fairly shit. Good motivating. I'm a motivator. I motivate people. You can see down in this bottom right corner though, we have 143 games played, won 57, drew 31, lost 55 as manager of Cheshunt. We never won a title, we never got to a final, but I feel these 2.5 years have been a great, memorable start to our journey. We took this club who was expected to get relegated. We had 2 mid-table finishes, and now we look like we're going to get into the playoffs while completely rebuilding the club financially. So let's head over to the new club and let's see where this journey has taken us. So here we are at Bromley. Now Bromley is a club I've never managed. I like the white kit. I think that's quite nice. Quite like the red kit as well. Really nice kit, nice club, historic club. Now what I find interesting about Bromley is, to me, Bromley are the exact thought I would have when I think of a non-league club who could be bottom half League 2. That around that area. If you had to guess where Bromley were, it's like Hartlepool, it's like Sutton. You're kind of thinking, okay, they're either in the bottom of League 2 or they're in the National League, if you had to put them somewhere. That's the level I see this club. Facility-wise, we're playing a 5,105 capacity stadium, Hayes Lane in Bromley. We do own the stadium as well, which is very nice. The stadium is in poor condition. We have average corporate facilities, which we didn't have any corporate facilities at Cheshunt. We have average training facilities, average youth facilities. We're level 3 youth level with fairly basic youth recruitment. Now, one thing I would say is we have under 21s and an under 18s at Bromley, and they are fairly full. They are fairly full, and they have some decent talent in both of them. So we've got to say hats off that we are starting with a fairly decent squad in terms of depth. Now, in terms of the first team squad, it's not the worst squad I've seen, but it's definitely not the best. They are lacking massively. Now, what I did was I went onto the schedule screen. You can see they've been playing a 4-3-3 or 5-3-2, so around that style of formation most of the time. Recently changed to this 4-3-3, which has actually had a turn in fortune. Before that, playing the 5-3-2. Actually played it pretty much all season. Okay. Well, we've continued the 4-3-3 setup for them and gone with the tactic I did already have created due to our time at Cheshunt and just implemented that in here. There are some weaknesses defence-wise. You can see here we've got 2-star centre-back who I don't think is good enough. He is the type of player who, if I brought in a Cheshunt, I would think he's not bad as a rotation option, where he's one of the first choice centre-backs of this club. You've got a left-back here who, again, dribbling a 5. I don't think he is good enough. They have a fairly basic centre midfield. You can see here Harlock alongside Sabler, who isn't bad mentally, but technically isn't the best. They don't have a great squad, but they have a decent squad and something we can maybe look at working on with a couple of academy players you've got in here, like this guy here, Faulkner, who isn't bad, especially at this level. He's a really talented winger on both sides, or can slot in up top as well if needed. 21 appearances for the club, only 18 years old. Nice to see some academy players already in the squad. They do have former Millwall George Alexander, who is a Football Manager legend, 24 years old. Signed him a few times in the last few FMs, so really excited that he's already at the club. He is wanted. He does consider the fact that he wants to leave at the minute. You can see here, wants to move to a club with a stronger squad. I want to build a stronger squad here, George, so stick around. But he is contract till the end of next season, so we don't need to worry about him. There is a few players whose contracts are now. You see, we have a lot of players, well, everybody, who gets an appearance fee. Obviously, with Cheshunt, we got rid of all appearance fee, unused sub fees, and just paid wages, and that is something long-term I want to do with Bromley. Mainly due to the fact that we are financially screwed, and this is something I love. I love the fact that I'm taking over a club who's $500,000 in debt, because I'm accepting that challenge right now to drag this club out of debt. I'm accepting it. Do we have any debt? There's no debt. I'm fixing this. We have no debt. Last season we lost money. This season we're losing money. Next season we will not lose money. I promise you that. Over the summer, I need to rebuild. I need to look around and see what we can produce here. We have, I think it's about 11 games left. We're 4 points out of the playoffs here. It looks very tight though. 49 points in 13th, 54 in 7th. It's very, very tight. But considering the quality of this squad, they are not in a bad position. In fact, I would like to know, why did their manager leave? Mark Noon, he was sacked. Okay, he was sacked with 14 wins, 6 draws and 15 defeats. I mean, they expect him mid-table. He's 10th. Because you can see it, they're not judging, but they do say they expect mid-table. So, yeah, finish mid-table here. By the way, the next season is attempt to remain in League 2. So finish mid-table in the National League. Then the season after, please attempt to remain. But we've only got 11 games left, so most of the information about this new club will come in the next video, which obviously will be the end of this season and the start of the season after. So we'll look at the players I've decided to hold on to, look at the staff I've decided to hold on to if I'm going to hold on to any. I did check out our assistant manager, who's fairly crap. Alan Dunn, he's not a good assistant manager, so we're probably going to look to replace him in the summer. Contract is running out. So I'm excited. Hopefully you are as well, to continue following this journey. If this is the first one of this series you've hopped onto, make sure you do check out the playlist. I think I actually called the playlist Cheshunt, so I'm going to rename that playlist. But thank you for watching. I've been Paul Osnunce Northman. We are now at Bromley, and I'll see you next time.